What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B. Just before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe all of our YouTube videos by hitting that notification bell by the subscribe button. As well, if you'd like to donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, you can do so by hitting that notification bell by subscribe button. And you can go to our Cash App right here, $ BJ Matthews in the ticker. Hit that like button, get the notifications out there as well. Let's get it popping. Y'all read the title, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I've touched on this before, but it reads directly right. Jayson Tatum, to me, is still not a superstar. Now, people may look at that video and want to turn it off, but I want y'all to actually kind of clock in and look in what I'm about to say about this situation. First of all, I made this video about Jayson Tatum right after the finals and actually said he wasn't a superstar. I actually made this video before in the Eastern Conference Finals when he was facing Jimmy Butler, and I said, "Look, Tatum is an all-star. He's on the rise. He's young. He's a young up-and-coming talent. But people were ranking him too early to be a superstar." And he came out in an interview and even said he didn't know where that comment even came from. So I definitely agree with that, right? But people wanted to rank Jayson Tatum already as a superstar, and what I'm seeing from right now, um, it's kind of the same thing this season. They're trying to put him as the MVP unanimously. And when I say they, I'm talking about the league and other, fans and stuff are trying to, proclaim Jayson Tatum as a MVP, right? Now, if we look at Jayson Tatum's numbers right here, Boston's number one in the Eastern Conference. They're 21-6. Jayson Tatum is averaging 30 points, right? 47% from the field, 8 rebounds and 4 assists per game, right? In 36.7 minutes per game. So those stats right there are top of the line stats. Those are elite stats, right? Right. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What are we in? Are we in the regular season or the playoffs? Right? This is regular season stats. My thing is this. You don't earn your superstar title in the regular season. You earn it in the playoffs. You earn it when you get to the finals and you actually win it. Right? My criteria for superstar is this. It's not like everybody's criteria. People want to put superstar title on like 10, 15 guys in the league. Guys like, what I'm saying, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Jayson Tatum, Luka Doncic, Ja Morant. They want to put all these titles on these guys who, what I'm saying, have a great season or have been having a couple great seasons, but either one or two things. They have great seasons and they don't do nothing, little to nothing in the playoffs yet, or they're just putting up a bunch of points and looking good, but they're not leading their team anywhere. My criteria for superstar is very simple, right? The first thing you have to do, you have to be box office, meaning that you have to be able to put butts in the seats. Do people come watch you play night in and night out? All right, we're talking about Jayson Tatum. Does people come watch him night in and night out? And I would have to agree. Yes, Jayson Tatum is box office, right? At this point, he's playing very well. You don't have to be a superstar to be box office. You just have to be somebody that's, entertaining to watch. And Jayson Tatum, the way he's able to score the ball, he's being a 6'9", athletic. Also, face of the league, all that stuff, man. Like that's all chiming into him being box office, right? So he got that part down, right? The next one, you must have multiple seasons of success, meaning that you have to have multiple seasons taking your team to the playoffs. Now, we know this about Jayson Tatum and the Boston Celtics. They've been to the playoffs. He's been in the league for 5 years. They've been to 3 Eastern Conference Finals and 1 NBA Finals. So that's definitely success, right? They've been to the playoffs. They've been to the NBA Finals. His first season, he took the Celtics against the Cleveland Cavaliers to 7 with LeBron James in 2018. He took 2020 his team to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to the Miami Heat. And then last year they lost to the 2022. They lost to the Miami Heat, or they beat the Miami Heat and went to the finals against the Warriors where they lost in 6. So he got that one checked. But this is where it kind of gets dicey, right? This is where it kind of gets, a little bit off track. You must have a MVP or finals MVP. right? You have to have an MVP or a Finals MVP, and that's something Jayson Tatum has not obtained yet. Now he's on the rise to do it, right? He's on the rise to do it, but he hasn't done it yet, right? And it doesn't have to be MVP, or it can be MVP or Finals MVP, right? And then the last thing on my criteria, you have to have a championship or Finals appearance. Now he's done that. He has been to the Finals already, right? He has been to the Finals against the Golden State Warriors, so he checked it off his list. But as you can see, I have a lot of things listed that you have to do to become a superstar in this league, right? There's people out there asking the question, is Jaylen Brown better than Jayson Tatum? I'm not going to even get into that situation. I'm not going to even really get into that. And I think people are saying that because of what happened on Saturday against the Warriors. And that's another thing. It's like kind of hard for me to put Tatum already as a superstar because that Warriors team is his kryptonite. That Warriors team, for whatever reason, when he plays them, he just disappears. I don't know if it's Draymond Green, the presence of him, because Andrew Wiggins didn't even play. Um, but they have a psychological hold over him. And then when I watch Jayson Tatum, he playing the same way as last season, not going into contact, shooting a lot of sidestep threes, long threes, not using his shoulders, not using his body to get into the bucket. Right? I just see that's what I see from Jayson Tatum. What I see from Jaylen Brown is somebody I think he's more of an alpha dog to me as far as rising to the occasion. The problem with Jaylen Brown is this: I don't think particularly the Boston Celtics are looking for him to be the face, and I don't think Jaylen Brown is even looking to be the face. I just think he's out there just playing this game and hooping. So I don't think he particularly cares about it, but his game is to me more aggressive than Jayson Tatum's, and that's an issue for me when you talk about superstars because you shouldn't have a team lock you down the way they did the other night. I mean, look at this stat line right here. The man went 6 for 21 from the field, had 18 points, and played 40 minutes, right? And he's had a bunch of bad shooting games in his, even last year in the playoffs. And that's why I was hesitant to put him on that level of superstardom. You can't have that many bad shooting nights, right? When you play against these big games, you have to be able to perform. He has another big game against this duo right here, Kawhi and PG, which I think, in my opinion, this is just me, I think Kawhi and PG are going to make a statement tonight. I think they're tired of hearing about Tatum and Brown being talked about around the league as the best two-way duo, and I think they feel disrespected. Kawhi being out all last season, PG missing a big amount of games. I think they're gonna come in there with a lot of energy, and I feel like they're gonna shut a lot of this stuff down about Tatum and Brown being the best duo or two-way duo, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, there's only 5 superstars in my opinion in this league, right? That's LeBron. Actually, no. Let me take that back. I'm sorry. That's Giannis Antetokounmpo, multiple championships, finals appearance, finals MVP, multiple seasons of success, box office, right? Steph Curry, another one, multiple seasons of success, box office, finals MVP, league MVP, and championships. Then um you got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, multiple seasons of success, finals appearance, championships, box office. Now, people may say, well, Tatum put KD out last year. That's very true. But again, we're going by the criteria of what I feel like a superstar is. KD's already solidified his superstar stamp. All he has to do is maintain his play by putting up the numbers he's putting up and still being able to keep his team relevant going into the playoffs. He's already stamped as a superstar. Now, this is where it gets a little bit dicey. People want to say Kawhi is not a superstar anymore, and he's been struggling offensively so far, so you take away his superstar title. I'm not going to go and try to defend all that. What I'm going to say is this. I know how Kawhi is built. I know his mentality. I know what he's thinking right now as far as how he's going to come back, this season. Is he struggling on the offensive side of the ball? Yes. But I'm watching him. He's not like he's getting pushed around. He's getting to his spots. The shots are just not falling. But people say, oh, he's 7 for 15 for the field, or 6 for 15 from, they like, oh, he's not the same. Like, no, it's not that he's not the same guy. He's the same dude. It's just going to take him time to get back to that player. And he's also dominant on the defensive side of the ball, but I'm still considering him as a superstar. Box office, multiple seasons of success, multiple finals MVPs, and multiple and a championship. And LeBron is the other guy I would put as a superstar, but he's just there. The impact he has on the Lakers is just not good enough. Where I just kind of put him in that category of like, well, he's kind of old, and he's not just that. He's not impactful as much. It's like this is kind of the end of the party. But I don't put everybody as a superstar, as you guys can see. I don't put Luka Doncic as a superstar yet. He has to get to a finals. I don't put Joel Embiid as a superstar yet. He has to get past the second round into the finals or get an MVP. I don't put Jokic, and he has to get to the finals. As y'all can see, I keep the energy consistent. I don't put Anthony Davis as a superstar. No MVP, no finals MVP. And he's on it. He's inconsistent. You have to be consistently great as a superstar. You can't be having these off games. You play good here, you play good at that. That can't be a superstar. That's somebody I'm gonna put as my trust in the league. But that's all I gotta say about that, man. Y'all could go and follow Pull Up Basketball Podcast, Pull Up C, Pull Up a Chair, Pull It Live. Peace. How they like swimwear.